Hey, well hello there. We are still not done with the pile of wood yet. We are still going to engage with it over the next few weeks a bit more. There are a few reasons for that. So, if you got wood like this, what you don't want to do is keep it in one stack all the time. At least if you kiln dry it or the like. What I'm doing here is basically kiln dry it. Mold is going to form under our little wood blocks that we have placed to basically separate the wood for some ventilation. So we need to restack it and just rearrange the stack every week or every 2 weeks. Really not matter too much. Other than that, what I want to do is I want to see what the wood moisture content is. I got myself Dr. Meter. I don't want to use my my one with the pins anymore because they just suck and they damage the wood and the like. So I got myself this one right here. It's only about 20 bucks on Amazon, but it's doing a fantastic job. I don't want to use like the Orion that Black Taste Studios is using just because for one main reason. Namely, I don't care about the real moisture content at all. A whole separate video on moisture content in wood and how you can find it out, etc. for your workshop is going to come soon. But other than that, I don't care about the moisture at all in the wood, not the exact one. What I only care about is that the wood that I have here now is in an equilibrium with the moisture and the humidity around the place here. And if I take a sample piece of wood, which I'm going to do in a second, which I know is extremely dry because it was lying here for ages and I have a bit of pear lying around that I can test. And it tells me, for example, 10% moisture content in this completely dried out wood, at least for my shop. Then I can compare it to my other wood that I got here, and if it's still above those 10%, then it's still not dry yet because it hasn't reached the equilibrium that the other wood did. Yeah, and this is basically what's going on today. We are going to restack the wood, we are going to rearrange our little wooden blocks a tiny little bit, and also we are going to check the moisture content for a bunch of boards, and I hope you are going to enjoy. Now let me grab this little piece of pear, and then we are going to see what the moisture content on this one is, and then we are going to compare it to the other boards. So, let's check a few different wood types and let's see what the equilibrium is. So I got a few different ones. This right here is a cookie also from the pear tree. I have cut it before. Cookies usually dry out more than the regular wood. In the sense that if you got end grain boards like those cookies, they are going to lose all of their moisture through those little straws, through the wood fibers. And they are going to dry out pretty heavily in one case and quicker than the other regular wood because it has less distance to travel. So this right here is pear tree, as mentioned before, just like this one. Had this lying around for about 2 weeks now, this cookie. And it was pretty hot in here, probably 35 to 45 degrees Celsius up here. And I choose the density of 4 here. This is the density setting. I got a rough approximation after Googling what the real density is of the pear tree, and then I just looked at the table which comes with the manual basically, and yeah, it should be about 4. And if I now put the Dr. Meter, excuse me, on here, it tells me 7% water content, which is completely good to go. I can use this cookie, it's totally fine. Now what about the other pear tree? This right here is from the same tree once again, but regular boards that I have cut in the previous episode of the workshop vlog. Now if I just check the first board, let us see what the moisture content already is. 7.5%, right in the middle. And it should be like that almost everywhere. Yeah, near the bark 7%. But as you can see, this board up here has reached equilibrium already, because I can compare it to this cookie. But to make really sure that it reached equilibrium, I need to take a look at a piece of wood which I had lying around for ages already. Like this piece of olive. I know it's completely dry, most definitely. Has been lying around here for the longest time, right after I moved in here and received my Laguna Benzo. So over half a year by now, and I should up the density a bit. olive wood is in the range of 6. And let us see what the equilibrium right here is. And it's about 6.5. It could also be that olive is in the density setting 5. Let me see. Yeah, 7%. This fits it a bit more. I would need to look at the... Woo. Something fell down at my heart. For fuck's sake. But I would need to look at the instruction manual to see what the real density setting is for olive wood. But yeah, you can see equilibrium at the moment at my shop in the summer is about 7%. And we can use this as a reference to compare if all of those are already a bit drier than they were before. Last time I measured, they were about 35% moisture content. Let's see what the last week, only 1 week, has done to this wood. And I was already able to see after restacking it once, a tiny bit, that some of the boards already deformed and they all start cracking, and like just the usual business that you have with wood being dried. Yeah, I hope this first part was a bit informative, and now we are going to get into the real game. Also, each and every day I come here, I open up the window just to allow for the moisture which is trapped in here to escape out of the room. Yeah, just to basically reach the outside equilibrium once again in here and to get a bit of air circulation. Okay, let's dive right in. So at first I'm really interested in the cookies, and they still feel a bit wet. I mean, it has only been 1 week. But as mentioned before, 1 week ago it was about 40% moisture content, 35 to 40. And what about now? 13%. As mentioned before, cookies tend to dry out extremely fast, since the distance for the water to travel out of the wood is very low. And for this one right here, 3 centimeters thick, 13% moisture content. And you can see it was completely straight before, but now it has deformed. But one big reason for the deformation is just this is the part where we cut it off originally, and it just started to basically deform at this crack, and then the whole tension which was inside of the wood basically just spread across the whole cookie. I'm not gonna make much with this part right here. Maybe I can kind of turn this into some kind of bowl, like, because it already has a bowl shape that you can use for various food types, like like vegetables or something. So next up is this big cookie. This right here is the one with about 4 to 5 centimeters in thickness. And by the way, Dr. Meter has the huge advantage that it measures inside of the wood up to 3 centimeters deep. That's really an advantage of this little thing. And if I measure it here, tells me 12.5%. What about here? Here we got 25%. 15.5. 10.5, yeah, and near the bark, 23%. There are various reasons why things like this can happen. I mean, if you watch the latest Black Tail Studio video where he had the round tabletop, some pockets just tend to not dry out as fast as other parts of the wood slab. It just is what it is, that is nature. Sometimes you get some kind of burl in there, or like where water is going to be trapped heavily. This is just something that happens. Also, it doesn't have a uniform thickness everywhere. This part right here is thicker than this part, and this is the reason why I can get a very accurate measurement. Also, if this sensor doesn't lie completely 100% flat on the wood, it's going to give you a bit of a false reading. But I don't care about this thick one anyways at the moment. This is not my priority. My priority are the cutting boards basically that I got here, like the cookie cutting boards, you could say, with 3 centimeters of thickness. Oh, but it has become way lighter. I mean, this is better. This is way better than before. Now, what about the small ones here? Oh no, I got a little Kellerasel here, a little bug. Get the fuck off my property. Hibbity hobbity, this is my property. Now this one right here is one that broke, okay? Just happened that something breaks. And, oh yeah, you see it? This is what I mean. This is why we need to lift it up and restack it, because mold is going to form over time. It just comes natural. It's extremely hot in here, and also we got a lot of moisture. This right here was a piece of Wenge originally, but now it's just a piece of moldy Wenge. I need to restack those a tiny little bit to get the mold off. But other than that, to basically act against the mold, what you can do is just spray vinegar on the parts where you had those little wood pieces lying. Yeah, other than that, moisture content. This right here is a flat surface, most definitely, and it's about 31% here, 25% here. What about the pith? 31%, 33%. So yeah, those still take quite a while to dry. Let me see what's up with the mold on the other parts. Yeah, they are all molding a tiny bit. I'm not going to restack this one yet. I'm going to wait a tiny bit longer, but I got the moisture reading for now, which is what I desired in the first place. So yeah, this is fine. I hope I don't get any bugs here. And this one right here, 14%. This one is trying out way better than the other ones that I got here, like the half slabs. Okay, very curious. Now next up are the bigger slabs, and I can already see them bowing a tiny little bit, like this one right here. It starts to bow like this. Okay, so this part right here is actually concave already. But this is just something that is going to happen, and this is why we fastened it down. Now what about the moisture content? I need to open up my density meter once again. Okay, density 4. What does it say? 19.5%. Last time I measured it was still at 23%, and that was 2 days ago. 21%, 21. 23. 15, 16, 22. So near the bark it tends to dry out quicker. But other than that, we are interested in the hardwood basically, and this is still about 22 or 18 to 22%. Now what about the smaller ones? This is also bowing a tiny little bit. That's 13%, 11%, 12.5. 17%. Okay, yeah, those ones are drying quicker, obviously. They are not as long as those long ones, by definition. So yeah, those are drying out nicely. I still have like sacrificial pieces over here. Let me see how those are doing. 14%, 14%, and 8% over here. Obviously, this is a very, very crooked and small part with a lot of bark. But yeah, they are drying out very nicely already, even though it has just been a week. So with this kiln drying method in my very, very hot attic, I'm very certain that we can reach a nice moisture equilibrium by the end of August, I would say. Maybe even before that. Meaning, I can probably create what I still have in mind out of those planks. One being the job from my customers, from my clients, and also for my own personal home. I still wanted to create a bathroom vanity, and what I wanted is I wanted to use a live edge pear piece for the top. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, and that it's drying out so quickly, and now I'm going to restack it. The reason why I already restacked something, because this right here was the thin piece of wood, only 2 centimeters thick approximately, and you can see the huge crack here. It's not a problem because of epoxy, but still, I didn't want it to bow in any kind of way, because it's a really fine piece of wood. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and this is why I put it downwards a bit, just to counter the crack and also it bowing. Let me see for the moisture content. Very curious about that. 23% approximately at the center, 30% on the sapwood, 38% on the sapwood. Okay, yeah, this comes natural. Okay, gotcha. So, I was away over the weekend, hence the change of clothes. Last time I just couldn't bear working up here any longer, it was just way too hot. Also my camera would overheat, especially my SD card, and I can film in this environment. So I'm here at the early morning, you can hear the birds chirp in the background. Yeah, they are cute, they are having young'uns. But never mind, yeah, let me check for the moisture content inside of the cookies. Some cookies started to split up. Maybe I should read into how to dry cookies more efficiently. Maybe I should paint the whole top such that the moisture can't escape this quickly. I'm not certain, but let's measure the moisture. Whoa. 48% inside of these cookies, 29 here, 30, 41. Yeah, so those are still extremely moist, hence they didn't crack up until now much. But this was just because they were lying a bit more at the bottom in the middle, so they didn't dry out that quickly. Okay, let's continue stacking these stacks. Okay, moisture content a bit further down the line. Number 4. Whoa, 16%! 27 at the pith, okay, understandable, have a great day. 37%, I was really confident, but well, it just is what it is. But yeah, nice. They're still trying out very nicely. Considering they have only been here for about a week, drying or something of that sort, already losing about 10% moisture content. That is pretty sick. %, 42 at the pith. 30%, 31, and right at the bark 24. Okay. I'm feeling like toast. Let's get the hell out of here. Ohayou gozaimasu, minasan. It has been a few weeks and a lot has happened. I don't know how that happened, but my cookie tower collapsed and now a bunch of cookies broke. That's a bummer, but there are still some there. It has been quite a hot time here in Germany, so I suppose that many of those slabs already dried pretty damn hard. I could just suppose, I haven't measured in quite a while and rearranged in quite a while, but I can just suppose that we got a moisture content of about 12 to 17% now, which is left. I do hope so, because that means that in August, so 1 month from now, I can most certainly work with those slabs and can start building my bathroom vanity and stuff for my clients. So yeah, let us measure some of those and yeah, then we are going to see how far they have gotten. Once again, I need a reference piece to see what the average moisture for a piece of pear is going to be here in my attic. Let me see. Moisture content might have changed due to the weather. But yeah, let's see. I got a piece of pear here and my moisture meter, my doctor meter. Now we're going to see. Pressing it real hard. 7% at the moment. 7.5 actually. What about down here? 7.5. You can see this one definitely has reached equilibrium, so that's cool. Yeah, that's most definitely nice. Okay, now I nearly tripped over something. Just ignore the sounds out there. Other than that, let us now check what the moisture content of the big slabs are, the cookies and the smaller slabs. Let us ignore the collapsed tower for now and let's see how this one is. Cookies love to split open. I mean, there is no other way for the wood to basically dry than to open up like this. I could have dried them more slowly, but I realized this way too late. Once it has reached that state, they already broke, and that's not a problem at all. We can fix it using epoxy or leave it like this, or put bow ties in here, or just sell them how they are as cutting boards. They are still pretty beautiful. Now what about the moisture content? 9%. 23%, so we got a moist gap here. 10%. 9%. What about the center? 8%. More to the bark. 7.5. 8.5%. Let me turn it around and let's measure here. 29%. 30%. Yeah, it still feels rather moist on the downside. Obviously, the upside is going to be dried way more. Now what about one that is lying here, a bit protected from the air above? 25%, and I can still smell it. It still smells moist, but I don't have any plans with those cookies right now. 33%, so I'm still fine with those. I don't care about them being dry at the moment. All I really care about are those slabs, which we are going to measure now. So those still need to dry for quite a bit, and I'm totally fine with that. Let's loosen those. Some of those develop cracks, but that is totally natural and not a problem at all. So if I just measure the top, 12.5%, this is what I expected from the regular slabs. 7.5%, 12.5%. But I got the concave side here, meaning my measuring device has a little air gap in between the measuring zone with the electromagnetic field and also the wood. So let's turn it around and then let's measure the moisture content on the concave side. It doesn't smell too moist actually. 36% here, 27% here, 14% more at the bark, 8%, 23%. What about the crotch? Still 29%. Okay, yeah. Okay, those are the bigger slabs. But they are not as heavy anymore. They are way lighter now, so I can already say that moisture was escaping from the wood, most definitely. Okay, let's see. 43% still. 14%. 27%. It turned off, that's nice. 18%. 34%. So, which means that I have to let them dry for a while longer, which is totally fine. I can live with that. But we are making good progress. From over 50% wood moisture down to 20 to 30%, which is really good progress already. Now for the stash that I care about the most at the moment, because I'm going to build my bathroom vanity from it. Once again, what's the moisture up here? 10%, something of that sort, 9%. So that upper part already reached equilibrium, just like all the other slabs and cookies before. But most importantly, how is it on the completely opposite side? Let us see. Not gonna measure this one, I have way too much air in between the measuring device and the wood. But what about this piece? 26%, 9% at the end grain, obviously, this one is pretty dry there. 30%, okay, let's move on. That one is a good looking one. Nice hardwood, nearly no cracks, that is looking fine. Only 12% moisture at the hardwood. 18%. 10%. 9%. 8% at the end grain. 36% here. We got a knot here which only has 9%. Yeah, that is a great one. 11%. That one is already pretty good to go. Still need to wait a tiny little bit longer, but this one won't take that much longer. I can work with this in August, I suppose, in a month from now, because next time we are going to get extremely hot weather here in Germany. In comparison to the last years, and I think this is going to let them dry even better and more quickly. Yeah, let me wrap this up really quick. And this already concludes today's episode on the workshop vlog, and we have done a lot of raw lumber processing and drying in the last time, but I hope you did enjoy this bit of theory that I'm learning for myself now for the first time around. So it's a learning curve for me and also probably for you, the viewer. So yeah, hope you're enjoying the series thus far. In 2 days I'm going to go on vacation for 2 weeks, so I'm not going to be here in the shop, but you're still going to see some projects nonetheless in videos. And other than that, I thank you guys for watching. I have a bunch of very cool projects I'm working on at the moment for my future house, so furniture in there, which are going to come out one after another up until October, I suppose. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more woodworking content and workshop vlogs. And up until the next video, I wish you guys a fun day. Please stay safe. Ciao.